Coming up next in Burbank On Demand, the World Games are coming to Los Angeles this summer. We'll meet some local athletes who are getting ready to take part in Special Olympics' biggest event on Earth. Don't let this happen to your home. It's a messy situation that is more likely to occur than you think. We'll show you how the city is helping you to avoid the nightmare. And Burbank has implemented Stage 3 of the city's drought plan, what that means for you and what the city must do to avoid state fines that could reach $10,000 a day. These stories and more are all next in Burbank On Demand. Hello, I'm Drew Sugars, Public Information Officer for the City of Burbank. Welcome to another edition of Burbank On Demand, a show about people, places, and programs in Burbank that you can watch anytime you want on demand. A little later in the show, we're going to tell you about a city program that helps reduce the risk of you becoming the victim of a sewage backup. It's not pretty, but first, something that is. Let's see what's new in Burbank.
Welcome to What's New in Burbank. Burbank commuters and travelers using Burbank Bob Hope Airport have some new options. In mid-June, Burbank Bus launched the NoHo Airport Bus Route, an all-day shuttle service that links the Metro North Hollywood Red Line station to a new stop within the airport grounds. The new NoHo Airport service replaces the existing NoHo Empire route, using largely the same stops but offering unprecedented all-day service for local commuters. The Burbank bus will operate on the new NoHo Airport route from 5:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, excluding designated holidays. Buses will depart several times per hour, including every 15 minutes during peak service times. Airport travelers will appreciate the new stop at the airport's new Regional Intermodal Transportation Center, or RITC. It's the first time Burbank Bus has stopped on airport grounds. The new drop-off point is just a short walk to the airport terminal. Service is timed so that riders can catch the first flight of the day and ride home after the last flight of the evening.
The expanded all-day Burbank bus service to and from the RITC is an important step in creating another seamless connection for airport passengers and commuters working at or near the airport. This service gives individuals the options of leaving their cars at home and taking the Burbank bus to the airport or to the North Hollywood Red Line. The RITC's ground-level transit center brings together multiple modes of transportation, giving passengers flexibility with frequent public transit options. It's a win-win for passengers, commuters, transit connectivity, and the RITC.
To learn more about Burbank Bus or for free trip planning assistance, call 818-246-4258 or visit burbankbus.org. Summer's around the corner, which means it's time to make plans for summertime fun. The Parks and Recreation Department has planned several family-friendly activities and events that let you stay in town and enjoy everything in one great place, Burbank. Here's a sneak peek into this summer's calendar of events. The Independence Day Music and Fireworks Show at the Starlight Bowl kicks off the summer concert season Saturday, July 4th. It's been a hard day's night. Followed by the ever-popular Fab 4 on Saturday, July 11th. Dive-In Movie Night is on Friday, July 17th at the Verdugo Aquatics Facility. The family-friendly event lets you swim under the stars in a lighted pool and enjoy a G-rated movie. On Friday, August 14th, enjoy a fun night with family and friends at Dodger Stadium as the Men in Blue take on the Reds at the annual Burbank Dodger Night. And the annual Water Carnival on Saturday, August 15th celebrates summer with games, races, and fun activities for the entire family. For more information about all the hot weather fun sponsored by the Burbank Parks and Recreation Department, go to burbankca.gov, where you'll find a complete list of summer events and activities offered right here in Burbank. Go to burbankca.gov, where you'll find a complete list of summer events and activities offered right here in Burbank. On Friday, June 5th, the mayor of Incheon, South Korea, Yoo Jung-bok, visited the city of Burbank, along with a delegation of other South Korean officials. Incheon has been a Burbank sister city since 1961, resulting from a letter written by an Incheon student requesting Burbank's help to obtain books written in English so that the people of his community could learn the English language and learn about the American way of life. Mayor Yoo honored this shared literary partnership by donating a number of Korean books to Burbank's public library, as well as taking a tour of Burbank City Hall, with Burbank Mayor Bob Frutos, Vice Mayor Jess Telemontis, and Council Member Dr. David Gordon. After gifts were exchanged between the two mayors, the officials joined a group of Burbank students and made an international Skype video call with South Korean students of Pengyung High School on Pengyung Island, where the Burbank students will be spending one night during an exchange student visit to Korea later this month. The officials then topped off the visit with a celebratory get-together with the Burbank Sister City Committee at Burbank's Smokehouse Restaurant. About 15 students from Providence High School hosted 3 students from Belle Jeff earlier this month to make welcome posters for athletes from Botswana and Zimbabwe who will stay in Burbank for 3 days in advance of the July 25th opening ceremony of the Special Olympics World Games at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The posters will be used at a torch run on July 22nd when the Special Olympics torch passes by Burbank City Hall at 9 a.m. You'll also see the posters at the Starlight Bowl on July 23rd, where a free concert will take place in honor of the athletes from the 2 Southern African countries. And the posters will be hung around Woodbury University for the 3 days the athletes will be staying there while in Burbank. Burbank is one of 100 host towns around Southern California, gearing up to welcome some 7,000 athletes from 177 countries for the big event that happens somewhere in the world once every 4 years.
We're in an historic drought, and that demands unprecedented action. It's for that reason that I'm issuing an executive order mandating substantial water reduction across our state. As Californians, we have to pull together and save water in every way we can.
Burbank's stricter water rules are now in effect following Governor Brown's executive order for all of California to reduce water use by 25% from June 1st through February 2016. Burbank has been ordered to reduce its usage by 28% as a result of 4 years of devastating drought. Conservation efforts over the last 2 years have already decreased Burbank's water use by 7%. That still leaves another 21%, or 1 billion gallons, that must be saved over the next 9 months. If Burbank fails to reach the mandated 28%, the state will fine the city $10,000 per day. To achieve this goal, Burbank City Council has implemented Stage 3 of the city's Sustainable Water Use Ordinance that began June 1st. Stage 3 requirements now limit landscape irrigation to 2 days per week, Tuesday and Saturday, expand a ban on landscape irrigation between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. that now prohibits hand watering during that time. Stage 3 also prohibits outdoor evaporative cooling devices, or misters, and requires all swimming pools, wading pools, and spas to be covered to decrease water evaporation. For more ways to save water outside and inside the home, go to burbankwaterandpower.com and click on the Water tab. There you'll find many programs and rebates that will help you save water and do your part so Burbank can meet the billion-gallon challenge. If you notice the city watering on days other than Tuesday and Saturday, you should see a nearby purple sign stating that recycled water is being used. The city's treated wastewater is non-potable, but it can be utilized for landscape irrigation. For years, the city has been doing its part to conserve by using recycled water for all its irrigation needs at parks, buildings, and other city properties. The city also provides recycled water to large businesses and the Burbank Unified School District, but it's not available for residential use. Again, if you see a purple recycled water sign posted, the non-potable water is being reused to help save fresh water for other needs. Warner Brothers Studios served as the kickoff location for a recent event to showcase Burbank as a premier business and tourist destination. The Burbank Hospitality Association, also known as Visit Burbank, invited a number of hotel concierges and internet bloggers to learn more about the media capital of the world. The day began with a shortened version of Warner Brothers' popular VIP tour before heading out to see the rest of the city and its attractions.
We feel that Burbank, truly, is a tourist destination. And here is the town behind the tinsel. We are the entertainment capital of the world, and we want to let people know that. That's something that's never done in the past, and we want Burbank to become a true tourist destination when traveling to Southern California.
It's the real movie theater right there.
For more information about the many things to see and do in and around Burbank, go to visitburbank.com.
If you're afraid of earthquakes,
I'm Peter Masurlian, and this has been What's New in Burbank.
You'd have to go back to the 20th century for the last time Los Angeles hosted the Summer Olympics. In fact, it was in 1932 and most recently 1984, which is still more than 30 years ago. Well, the largest sporting event to take place in LA in 3 decades begins in late July this year with the arrival of the Special Olympics World Games. Like the International Olympics, it only happens every 4 years in a new city somewhere on Earth. And as Peter Masurlian reports, the city of Burbank will roll out the red carpet as one of 100 local host towns.
There's a light inside of all of us.
Singer-songwriter Avril Lavigne debuted this music video in April 2015, exactly 100 days before the opening ceremonies of the Special Olympics World Games on July 25th. The Games will run until August 2nd and will involve some 7,000 athletes from 177 countries. It's being billed as the largest sport and humanitarian event anywhere in the world in 2015.
It's your time to fly. It's your time to fly.
Burbank will be one of 100 host towns from San Luis Obispo to San Diego that will host the foreign athletes for 3 days as they get acclimated to the weather and time change. Burbank will be hosting the delegations from the southern African countries of Botswana and Zimbabwe, starting Tuesday, July 21st. On Wednesday, July 22nd, the Special Olympics torch will pass by Burbank City Hall at 9 a.m. on its way to the Los Angeles Coliseum. And on Thursday, July 23rd, there will be a free concert at the Starlight Bowl, starring Captain Cardiac and the Coronaries. There aren't any Burbank residents competing in the World Games, so we headed an hour outside of town to catch up with 29-year-old Antelope Valley tennis player Eric Chan. Volunteer Stephen Crook first started coaching Eric as a swimmer 7 years ago and turned to tennis in 2012.
He's one of my better players. My whole philosophy on it is they come out, they have fun.
Eric's not only good with a racket, he's a bit of a raconteur, acting as a global messenger for the games.
It's about getting speeches over the world and let people know when to come for the game, for this coming up.
Over in Culver City, 20-year-old Kaylin Griffith is perfecting her routine to compete in the women's floor exercise.
I practice every Wednesday with special training with my coach.
well, you have to turn this way, and you go down that way.
Kaylin was 9 years old when Natasha Burgos started coaching her. Burgos, who divides her time between an LAUSD full-time special education teaching job and nearly 15 years with the Westside Special Olympics gymnastics team, was a gymnast herself for 17 years. She's been instrumental in Kaylin's growth in gymnastics, as has Kaylin's mother.
Well, my mom actually helped me doing all my routines, telling me to point my toes when I do my kicks, and cartwheels, big legs, do your cartwheels.
She does have a little bit of anxiety, and she gets anxiety with good things. So there's a little bit of that, so it's been a challenge kind of dealing with that, but you know, you live with it because it's a once in a lifetime. It really is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Anxiety or not, Kaylin's coach thinks she's ready.
It's been a great journey, and so being able to be with her and watch her go through World Games and this experience and having these opportunities is amazing.
So don't you ever say you're giving up. No, there's no looking back, 'cause we were all meant to fly.
Kaylin and Eric will be among the 7,000 athletes competing in 25 sports in venues throughout Los Angeles, including USC and UCLA. The events are free and open to the public. For more information, log on to la2015.org. This has been Peter Masurlian with the Burbank On Demand cover story.
It's your time to fly.
Thank you, Peter. There are several events connected to the Host Town program in Burbank. They include a World Games Special Olympic Torch Run and a special free concert at the Starlight Bowl. For a complete list of events, go to burbankca.gov. There's more to come in Burbank On Demand. You've heard it again and again, California's worst drought on record. Well, it's not going away, it's actually getting worse. We're going to try to get your attention with our latest edition of Currents on Demand. And sewage backup may seem like someone else's problem, but you could become a victim yourself. The city of Burbank has a program that may reduce the odds of it happening in your home. That's when Burbank On Demand continues.
In ancient Rome, the gladiators went into the arena with these words on their lips: "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave the attempt."
7,000 athletes, 177 countries, 500,000 spectators. The world is coming. Join us as a volunteer.
Welcome back to Burbank On Demand, the show where you can pick your favorite stories and watch online whenever and wherever you want on demand. Every 3 months, Burbank Water and Power, the citizen-owned utility, publishes a magazine called Currents. Not surprisingly, the drought has become a recurring topic. Not to sound like a broken record, but this historic dry spell is not getting better. In fact, it's getting worse. BWP's Jeanette Meyer is here to show us some of the issues they tackle in the latest edition of Currents in this segment we call Currents on Demand.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Meyer of Burbank Water and Power, here to give you a quick run-through on some of the articles you'll find in the spring issue of Currents. Currents is BWP's quarterly newsletter that we send to every Burbank address. BWP is your community-owned utility, and we think it's important to keep you posted on what we're up to. Not surprisingly, the main focus of the newsletter continues to be California's drought. We are in the 4th year of an epic drought, and we don't know when it might end. As a result, Governor Brown passed an executive order requiring that California reduce water use by 25%. Here in Burbank, we've been working on conserving water for years, and progress has been made, but we need to make some big reductions now. You might wonder why it is the case that our lawns are still green during a severe and long-lasting drought. Well, the answer has to do with stored water. Over the past 20 years, the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California has been building and filling reservoirs for the region to use during times of drought and other emergencies. That's the good news. The bad news is that these precious supplies are running low, as discussed in the Preserve Our Reserves article. It is absolutely necessary for each and every one of us in Burbank to make every single drop of water count. So what can each of us do to be really smart about how we use water? This article will give you some common sense tips to follow for both inside your house and outside. But if you live in a single family house that has landscaping, odds are really high that well over half of your water use goes to keeping your lawn green. We recommend watering no more than 2 days per week, a requirement in Burbank. Watering only on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and never when the sun is up. If you're thinking about using less water in your garden, and we really hope you are thinking about this, here's a diagram that might help you decide how to do so. So what is it you want to achieve? Is it optimizing your watering schedule, beautifying your landscape, or maybe you want to create a maintenance-free garden? For each approach, BWP can help. So please take a few minutes to look over this article. So Currents has a lot of information about the drought and the need to use every single drop of water wisely. Unfortunately, it appears more and more likely that drought is California's new normal. This article is about a Stanford University report that predicts more droughts in the coming decades. The drought is absolutely daunting, but the Currents issue isn't all bad news. For instance, in this article, 2 Burbank residents shared their delight with Burbank Water and Power's Green Home House Call program. Over 5,500 Burbank residents have already gone through this free program and are saving water, energy, and money on their monthly BWP bill as a result. More good news. With summer approaching, BWP has a new service that can provide you with some advanced warning that the energy portion of your bill is heading into high territory. The goal is to get you information before your bill is generated so that you can take action to curb in your energy use and costs. Interested? Go to burbankwaterandpower.com and sign up to receive email or phone alerts. And even more good news. BWP is rolling out our newest program called Home Water Reports. Over the next 12 months, 15,000 randomly selected homes will receive one-page reports with information on how much water their home is using, how that use compares to similarly sized homes in Burbank, and specific tips on how to save water. If your home isn't included in this pilot year, don't worry. You'll receive reports next year. Some of the other stories that you'll find in the Currents newsletter include how we are reducing the cost to light our streets, how BWP is helping some of our local nonprofit agencies, Burbank receiving hydroelectric power from Hoover Dam since 1937, and happiness at Harmonia Mundi with BWP's fast fiber optic services. Haven't heard of Harmonia Mundi? Well, they are the world's oldest independent classical music label and headquartered nationally right here in Burbank. Last, we're dedicating this issue of Currents to Mr. Glenn Brown. In late February, Glenn Brown passed away at the age of 91. I was honored to know Glenn. He was a smart, ethical, and very generous man who always had a smile on his face. After a distinguished career as a geologist, Glenn spent the last 14 years representing the city of Burbank as a board member to the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. Glenn Brown was a great friend to this city and will be sorely missed by many. So that's what we have in store for you in the spring issue of BWP's Currents newsletter. Again, you're our owners, so Burbank residents, you should know what we're up to and let us know if BWP is on track to meeting your needs. If there are items of interest to you that you'd like to see highlighted in Currents, just send me an email at the address you'll see at the bottom of your screen. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy your issue of Currents.
If you didn't get a copy of Currents or just want to check it out, go to burbankca.gov and click on the tab for BWP and then type Currents in the search box. BWP has built a reputation for its exceptional rebates and residential programs. They help the environment and make your home more efficient. But helpful programs are not just limited to BWP. For instance, the city's Public Works Department is offering an incentive program that just might help keep your money from going down the drain. Burbank On Demand's Walter Lutz has the details.
Household wastewater. Where does it go and how do we deal with it? After the water leaves our home, it enters the city's sewer system and is directed through the Burbank Water Reclamation Plant, where it is cleaned before it is sent out either as recycled water for irrigation use or released into the ocean. That's the simple version, but sewage, like life, can get complicated. Basic habits are creating big problems.
Many of the people are putting down flushable wipes that cause us major problems, and or paper towels and paper products. Dental floss is also a problem. But one of the major problems is fats, oils, and grease, typically from cooking oil or cooking bacon, any type of deep fryers, stuff like that that does not have any type of separation, and it gets dumped down the kitchen sink, typically emulsifies, and then later can cool and coagulate down in our system downstream, which causes major problems.
And these items can also cause problems in your own sewer lateral pipe that carries the wastewater from your home to the city's connecting pipes. This stretch of pipe is the responsibility of each homeowner to maintain and keep clear, not only from the previously mentioned non-disposables, but also from vegetation roots that can creep through the pipe's section joints. Blockages and root intrusions can result in serious damage to not only your pipes, but your home and yard as well. The roots from this unassuming palm tree here led to quite a blockage mess for resident Marjorie Fuchs.
It's just gross. It was just a very bad experience, and I had never seen everything back up like that before, you know, and it was the water and the tissue and everything, like I said, in the lateral just kept flowing out.
All it takes is one serious clog to cause a massive sewage backup that can flood your home and property, causing a nightmare of a mess, both physically and economically. So what can you do to prevent this from happening? 1. Don't flush wipes or other non-decomposable items down your toilet. 2. Don't dispose of fats, oils, and grease through your drains. Wipe all pans, plates, and utensils with a paper towel and throw it into a trash can. 3. Pour large amounts of bacon grease or frying oil into a container. Let it cool and harden, and then place it in your trash. 4. Help keep your lateral clear of roots by not planting trees or shrubs near your sewer line. And 5. Install a backwater valve in your sewer lateral to prevent any backups from entering your house.
But no matter how many of these prevention tips you follow, the city recommends you routinely maintain your sewer line by inspecting it and, if necessary, having it cleared of obstructions by a professional. The good news is that the city's Public Works Department provides a rebate program to help owners of single-family homes accomplish this, called the Sewer Lateral User Rebate Program, otherwise known as SLURP. Becoming eligible for a rebate is simple. Just follow these steps.
1. Hire a plumber to clean and video record your sewer lateral. It is important that the plumber, chosen by you, cleans and video records your sewer lateral all the way to the connection with the public sewer main. This recording must also clearly show the address of the residence. The city recommends getting quotes from a few plumbers before making a final decision. You can review plumber evaluations completed by other Burbank residents on the Public Works website, burbankca.gov/slurp. 2. Bring in the plumber's receipt, the videotape or DVD, and a completed rebate form available on the city's website to the Public Works office at 150 North 3rd Street, or you can mail it in. And that's it. Public Works will give you a $150 credit on your utility bill. Take it from Marjorie, it's worth it.
Well, the SLURP program really saved me, and I knew nothing about it until the truck driver from the city who responded to my calls the first day came out and gave me the brochure. And in looking at that, I was able to go online, get the information that I needed. It was $225, but the SLURP program reimbursed me $150 toward my utility bill. So all in all, it saved me $150, and the whole clean out of the lateral ended up costing me $75.
$75 versus $225 is a pretty good deal. For Burbank On Demand, I'm Walter Lutz.
Thanks, Walter. And if you need to have your sewer lateral replaced, Public Works offers a rebate for that too. Just email the Public Works Department at slurp@burbankca.gov or give them a call at 818-238-3915 for more information on all these programs. On May 1st, Burbank City Council began a new year of governance. The 5-member council includes a new member who voters selected in April. The Burbank Channel sat down with all 5 council members for a show titled Meet Your City Council, which is currently in the broadcast rotation. Here's a sneak peek.
Hi, my name is Bob Frutos. I've lived here in Burbank for the past 23 years with my wife and my 82-year-old mother that lives in my home that I'm happily looking out after. I've been involved in Burbank government affairs for the past 10 years. I started back in 2003 as a police commissioner, and then in between I served on 2 separate charter review committees, and I also served as the first vice president of the Burbank Kids Community Dental Clinic. I have been a Los Angeles police officer now for the past 28 and a half years, and I have a lot of experience and a lot of passion for public engagement, problem solving, bringing people together from different sides and facilitating meaningful discussions to solve our problems, not by one person, by a collaboration of different people. We live in a very unique, diverse city with different cultures coming together, that sometimes there's some growing pains. Well, I wanted to step up, not just as an elected official, but as a pillar of our community, somebody that wants to preserve Burbank, what it's been good to me, but also embrace the future, the new people coming to our city, while we still respect some of the more traditional community members that have been here their whole lives. Burbank is a very unique town. We're 17 square miles. And in those 17 square miles, we have a lot of beautiful single homes, single family homes. And folks have been second, third generation people that can tell you when the first snows hit here back in the late 50s, to even building aircrafts for Lockheed. So there's a lot of rich history in our city.
Hello, I'm Jess Talamantes, and I've been your council member for the past 6 years. And people often ask me, what made you decide to get into politics? And that decision was made early on in my life. Back in 8th grade at Luther Burbank Junior High School at the time, I ran for 8th grade president. And I enjoyed being around the ASB officers so much that my next year in 9th grade, I ran for ASB president, and I was fortunate enough to get elected again. So that's where it started. My whole political career started when I was very young, and ever since then I've been a public servant. You know, I served over 33 years with the fire department. So I've been on the council for 6 years now. And prior to getting elected to council, I was on the YES committee, the Youth Endowment Services Committee, for 10 years, and I served on the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Board for 9 years. So I've had a long list of public service, and I'm very proud of it because it's my community, and I'm serving you, the residents of this community.
Hi, I'm David Gordon, and I joined the council in 2006. And the reason I came on board was I felt that it was time for a change. The status quo wasn't good enough anymore, and we need to have tough questions asked what was going on at City Hall. My goal was to shed light on what was happening in our local government.
Hi, I'm Emily Gable-Letty. I was elected to City Council in 2011, and I've just been elected to City Council for a second term this year in 2015. I chose to run for City Council and take public service because that's really always been in my bones. I was on our planning board for 10 years and felt that it was really an important thing to do because of the kind of background that I have both in design and planning as well as landscape architecture. I'm proud to be part of the City Council, and I look forward to a new City Council as we roll up our sleeves and do a better job working together in this coming year and going forward.
Hi, I'm Will Rogers. I was elected to the council in 2015, and I asked for the opportunity to serve on the council so that I could really accomplish, I guess, 3 or 4 major things. And the first, of course, would have been that I'm looking to help City Hall do a better job of communicating with residents to let people know what's going on, and before it happens, to let them know what's going on so they can have some input. Second of all, I believe the council is very close to, if not already at consensus on some major issues. I'd like to offer leadership to help the council accomplish some of those goals. And finally, I was very concerned, I am very concerned about the pendulum swing that I sense going on with regard to development in the community. I've been through one major swing before. We're still living today with its impacts. So I wanted to offer some leadership and input on the current swing, or we're mid-swing now. And before it went much further, I wanted to step in and offer some experience.
You can watch Meet Your City Council on the Burbank channel or on demand at your convenience on the city's website by clicking the On Demand video tab, or of course on YouTube after you search for the Burbank channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Burbank On Demand. If you saw any story that you'd like to watch again or share with someone you know, just go to the city's website, burbankca.gov, where you can watch it on demand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.